What if the Japanese yen carry trade, the Sell America trade, which has been kicked off because of Greenland, what if all of that kerfuffle means that mortgage rates are going to go to 8%? This is a legitimate concern. It may not be a high probability, but it is certainly a non-zero event. So we're going to have a conversation about what happens to the real estate market if mortgage rates go right back to 8%. We're going to have this conversation with Dion. Dion, how you doing, buddy? What's going on?
I am doing outstanding, and I have purchased a property with 8% debt, conventional loan. So not even creative financing. It can be done.
No, absolutely. I've paid as high as 12% for mortgages. So again, it can be done, but I think it bears a discussion. And again, there's a couple of things I think about with 8% mortgage rates. One, we've been there in recent memories. I think it was 2023 that we saw 8% mortgages. Also, it bears repeating that most people, including myself, have thought that mortgage rates will continue to fall this year, and whatever external events, geopolitical, political, yen carry trade, whatever. If mortgage rates do the opposite and shoot higher, it will damage the housing market. It will frankly damage the economy. And I think we just need to talk about it.
All right. So I saved this for like a minute to get rid of the people who watch a video for a second and then leave. This is only for the people who hang out. It will absolutely cause a real estate crash. Guaranteed. In transactions.
Exactly.
So if interest rates go down, which is what everybody keeps talking about because of hopium, people thinking, oh, if they come down, I'm going to buy. No, you weren't buying in an up market. Interest rates coming down is going to create demand, which would cause prices to go up. But if interest rates go up, people think, well, then prices have to come down because a whole bunch of YouTubers are going to make money because of their clicks they get by making. Every time interest rates go up 1%, values have to come down 10%. We heard it like a mantra for years, from 2020 to 2023, until everybody realized that's not how it works.
No.
Buying power reduces, but demand and ability to buy doesn't go down. People buy smaller houses, people buy different assets, people buy in different markets. But higher interest rates will cause less transactions to happen. And I think prices would continue to stay flat or go up. I don't think higher interest rates would mean prices come down because it doesn't create inventory.
Exactly. Right. There's this thing in economics called price elasticity. I wish the Doomers and Crash Bros would read it. And let's be clear, Meet Kevin was one of the biggest proponents of every time it goes up 1%, they fall 10%. And of course, he was spectacularly wrong because that's not how it works. But yeah, I think you're absolutely onto something. And if mortgage rates shoot up to 8%, let's call it by the end of Q1, versus come down like they have been, you're absolutely right. We will have a housing crash in transactions, right? The worst year to date was last year. It was really tied with the year before. We did 4.04 million transactions, but most of that, a disproportion of that, was the second half of the year. The spring selling season last year, people probably don't remember, was horrible because of the Trump tariff, Liberation Day. It caused a 20% crash in the stock market. Basically you had all these people not know what they were doing. So what does the consumer do when they're afraid, Dion? Nothing. They sit tight. And guess what? Prices didn't crash. It's like we've been here. We've seen this movie before. So you're absolutely right. But, it's funny. I really believe this, and most people probably won't get it unless they hear it a couple of times. I would be more excited personally about an 8% mortgage for everyone than a 5.9% mortgage for everyone. I really mean that. I would personally be more excited about 8% than 5.9. Any ideas why?
So as an investor, I would too. And for me, you might have a different reason, but for me, it's because I know how to take the time to study my market and recognize a good deal, and whether it would, to get cash flow day one, and how to adjust my strategy based on my asset class and my market, and then add the element of time. I think too many other people are like my brother, who are worried about the bank making money off of them. And the thought, and I just did a video the other day talking about how commercial is so different than residential. Because in commercial, they look at the cost of capital.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the yield equation I've learned from you over the years, literally annual profit divided by cost to acquire. All of that's factored in. Yes, interest rates isn't a part of the equation, but it's not the thing that tells me to go buy or not to buy.
Yeah, no, it's exactly right. Because again, what do I want? The reason I would be more excited 8% than sub 6 is because I'm a buyer, not a seller. Let's be clear. If I was a flipper or somebody whose life depended on transactions, I want lower rates. But that's not who I am. In fact, if you gave me a magic wand, I would make mortgage rates 10%. Why? Again, I'm a buyer, not a seller. And why would 10% mortgage rates be good for a buyer? Well, A, competition goes down. A lot less people can buy at 10%. 2, motivated sellers start raising their hand because until you buy from a motivated seller, you really have no idea how much power you have. Buying from a motivated seller is everything. Not only can you get great discounts, not only can you get seller credits, you can get buy downs, they can do repairs. I mean, you could basically negotiate anything from a motivated seller. So the idea is I still like to buy, and higher mortgage rates make it easier. And again, if you get an 8% mortgage rate today or sometime in Q1, and of course, if you do what I do, it's 30-year fixed, sometime in the next 30 years, mortgage rates will not be 8%. And you can go back and refinance. That's the beauty of 30-year mortgages. It's a one-way bet. If mortgage rates stay at 8% or go higher, I do nothing. But sometime in the next 3 decades, I'm willing to guess that mortgage rates will go back to 6. And then I could do just a rate in term refi and increase my cash flow. This is the magic of higher interest rates. And again, I would love it to be 8% as a buyer. If I was a seller, of course, sub 6.
So there's 2 things with this. The first one is if interest rates go to 8 or 10, we're talking about buyers and sellers. Transactions go down. It's easier as an investor to buy because competition goes away. That's actually why most of my purchases were done in the winter because less competition. So it's not so much related to rates as they're waiting for the springtime or something. But we're not talking about owning. Let's say we have all of our properties that we do and we don't buy, but interest rates go to 8% or 10%. It becomes harder to buy. Yes,
correct.
Investors with teams in place and with a strategy and that know their market, they can buy. But if it's harder to buy, that means more people rent. Now, if we own and we have the assets that become more in demand because it's harder to buy, rents are pushed up by interest rates going up. We can track that from 2022 to 2024. Rents went up exponentially, like 28% almost in every market because of the interest rates tripling. It's so hard to buy, people have to rent, creating more demand on rental. So as owners, we benefit. But the other thing is how much it hurts the economy isn't just the housing crash transaction where real estate and not investors, but agents are sitting back going, ooh, we were doing 6 million and I was struggling as an agent. And then we dropped down to 4 million transactions and I haven't done a deal this year, right? That's the way they're looking at it. And it's very damaging. But carry that through to home inspections, appraisals, construction work for burrs or upgrades, and then lenders. And the lenders, they get hurt by less transactions, but where they really get hurt with an 8 or a 10% interest rate is the refi demand goes to just almost zero, like it's 0.0001 or something. And so the threat to the investor then is when lenders are in stress or in duress, the sales pitches get stronger. You start seeing arms pushed. You start seeing lessened lending criteria. And that's where mistakes start to get made by people who don't take the time to educate themselves on how to properly use debt.
Yeah. At the end of the day, an 8% mortgage rate, to your point, would very likely send the country into a recession. Again, because not only would mortgage rates be impacted, car loans would be impacted, credit cards would be impacted. Really, even small businesses would be impacted if mortgage rates shoot higher. And this, again, is a non-zero event. If this Sell America trade picks up steam, and we have Japan, which currently has $1 trillion, and the yen carry trade blows up spectacularly, we could see a sudden and violent rise in interest rates. So again, it's a non-zero event. But again, I want this channel to know we'll be okay. We look for motivated sellers. We look for great deals. We know how to get seller first, seller seconds. We want less competition. So again, an 8% mortgage rate would be great for a very small handful of us, but most of you on this channel would benefit from 8% mortgage rates. Just change your orientation, look at what's possible, and have a lot of fun. Dion, what are your closing thoughts?
My closing thought is Warren Buffett is highly regarded as one of the best investing strategists of like all time, or at least many generations. And so I'll just quote him. From his perspective, if I knew with absolute certainty what interest rates were going to be in 2 years, it would absolutely not change the way that I invest. I buy when I'm ready, and I found a great deal. So for the last couple of years, I haven't been ready. I've been in, I want to travel and see the world, and I don't want to add portfolio. I want to let the money stack. Well, now the money has stacked, a couple of six figures in there, and I'm ready to purchase. So it's go back home after this trip, go back home after the Las Vegas. Maybe before I go to Mallorca, I'm going to take 60 to 90 days to relearn my market, learn the current rent averages, learn the current asset prices, calculate what the average yield is, hunt for deals that beat it, and that check off all my other boxes, or as many of those boxes as I can. Then I'm going to buy at least 2 properties. That's the goal. That's the outcome goal. The action goal is I'm going to study my market, hunt for deals. And that is happening because I'm ready. The purchase will happen if I find a great deal. Nowhere in that equation was if rates are 10% or 2%, I'm going to buy a property.
Dion, you're amazing. We'll see you in Vegas. Have fun. Later.
Ciao.